Rewind 2021. There was a parade in my city. Number one pick, dancing in the street. Everybody was hitting the good. Kid arrived in the D, and it was live as can be. They can ball, but we didn't want Green, Mobley, or Scotty B. No, when he got hurt, everyone lost it. Storylines leaking, no faucet. Caught him washed when he broke his tibia. All the haters, time to get it really, Everybody wanna be Skip Bayless. Wanna throw shade, okay, say less. Deuce went number one for a reason. It'll click by the end of the season. When he wins most improved player. Gonna be a movie, here's the trailer. Don't say I didn't try to warn ya. Co-signed by Win Benyama.
Kate Cunningham.
He was raised in Texas, but now he's Detroit flexing. Team USA, he was killing them. Got him effed up, let me quote Eminem. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. It's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Kate. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. It's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Kate.
Forgot about Kate. They forgot about Kate. Forgot about. How you forget about Kate?
Hey, yo! So, welcome back to another episode of The Deuce Show. Y'all know how we got to get this started. Y'all know how we do. Detroit basketball! Yo! Welcome back to another episode, man. Listen, y'all. We got a lot to get to tonight. We have a lot to get to tonight. Oh my God. I don't even know where to start. So many things happened in this game. Records were set. Everybody contributed. The Pistons came out angry tonight. Okay, so let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate everybody who was here. AB, I see you, my dog. I know you in a good mood, man, after watching your boy K set a record and put his name in the record books again. Yeah, awesome game, man. But total team effort from everybody. Total team effort. The Detroit Pistons tonight, they beat the Chicago Bulls on the road 132-92, and it wasn't even that close. And they moved to 28-26 on the regular season. Guys, the Pistons are not going to fall below 500 for the rest of the year. They are not going to fall below 500 for the rest of the season. Book it. Book it. I'm telling you right now, it's not happening. It's only onward and upward from here. This team is rolling right now, guys, and this team believes in this team right now, man. I have not been this excited in a long time. I'm going to tell you exactly how long ago it's been when we get into this. So let's get into it, guys. Initial thoughts, right? I have a lot of initial thoughts. And lately I've been having a lot of initial thoughts because the Pistons have been doing a lot of things that we haven't seen in a long time. So the Pistons tonight, man, let me just start with this. They played their style of basketball. Detroit basketball is what they embodied all night long. I always talk about this, right? What do we always say? You got to play. Got to play 4 quarters. Can't play one good half. Can't play 3 quarters. You got to play as close to 48 minutes as possible. And tonight, this was the best game of the season. This was the most complete game of the season. And it wasn't even close. They came out tonight, man. They hit first. I always talk about that, right? Setting the tone. Hitting first. They jumped out to a quick 6-0 lead. And I knew right away. You guys probably did too. I knew right away. They're going to take care of business tonight. I could see it early. You could just see everybody was playing with that sense of urgency from the starters to the bench guys. But even just the approach to this game, man, they got off to a great start. Quick timeout by the Bulls. And it seemed like every time the Bulls called a timeout tonight to try to stop the bleeding, the Pistons came right back and went right back to it. They got right back to it. They stayed on them all game. And that's important because we have a back-to-back tomorrow against the same team on the same floor. We'll get to that too because I got some things to say about that as well. But like I said, man, the Pistons, they played their style. They dictated pace. They dictated how this game was going to be played, and they hit the Bulls first. And watching this game, I just got chills, guys. I got chills. This is the first time I got chills, like goosebumps, for the whole game. If you put your head down for 1 second and look up, it was another turnover and another bucket. Like tonight, what you saw over and over again was stop, score, stop, score, stop, score, stop, score. Defense to offense, defense to offense. That's all you saw all night long. And everybody got in on the party. Man, guys, this team is showing their true potential as a basketball team. Tonight, for the third straight game, they held a 20-point lead. Third straight game in a row. Three straight games. And unlike the other two games, they did not let their foot off the pedal. That was what was most encouraging for me. Is the last few games against the Sixers and last game against the Hornets, especially last game, they let their foot off the pedal. And last game, what did I say? You know, a win is a win. You take it how you can get it. But I said last game was the worst win of the season. And I said that I hope the Pistons learn the lesson in a win and build on that and learn from that. Because every young team goes through that. Every young team goes through the growing pains. When you've been a young team who has lost a lot and been on the receiving end of these kind of games, you don't really know what it's like to be up 20 points, 30 points at halftime. You don't know what it's like. So you have a propensity to naturally let your foot off the gas because you start feeling yourself. You start feeling yourself. You know you're the better team, and you disregard the fact that these are all NBA players. You disregard that. You're like, oh, we're better than them. We can turn it on and turn it off whenever we need to. No. And last game, they learned that. Against the Sixers, they kind of learned it, but last game, they really learned that. This game, I think the score was, they had, a 20, 30-point lead, and it was down about 2 in the fourth quarter. So I just said, if they can learn that lesson in a win, because if they would have lost that game, it would have been devastating. It would have been all over ESPN. The same way this win tonight is going to be on ESPN tomorrow, book it. Last game would have been on ESPN in a negative way. So I'm glad that they learned the lesson. They went from having the worst win of the season, to the best one of the season. And they learned their lesson. They did not take their foot off the pedal. They did not take their foot off of their neck. They stayed on them. It didn't matter who was in the game. If it was Cade, if it was Schroeder, if it was Sasser, it didn't matter which guard was running the offense. They just kept coming. They kept coming. And I'm telling you, man, like I said before, the second half of this season is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I said that last game. The second half of the season is going to be a lot of fun. Carl said Pistons 2025 NBA champs. And by the way, guys, me and Carl have something come. I mentioned it last stream, but me and Carl have something right on time for what's happening right now. We have a nice video presentation coming for you guys with regard to this team, a tribute to this team. So stay tuned. In the next week or so, we're going to be dropping that, and we'll make sure all you guys have access to that as well. But yeah, 100%, man. 100%. This team is shot out of a cannon. They came out of nowhere. But getting back to what I was saying, everybody is committed. That's my biggest takeaway. Even Dennis Schroeder, who just got here, diving on the floor for loose balls, right? And it wasn't a perfect game. It wasn't a perfect game. The execution wasn't perfect, but there was plays when you saw guys turning the Bulls over, and the offense on the break sometimes was sloppy. Right? It was sloppy at times. It wasn't perfect. But then when they would turn the ball over, after turning the Bulls over, they turn the ball over, the Bulls try to run, and the Pistons will get back on defense and turn them. It was the Pistons were just not giving up anything easy. They were not giving up anything easy. I'm okay with the sloppy play at times when you're giving max effort. When you're giving max effort, I'm okay with the sloppy play at times because you can fix that. You can fix the sloppy play. This team has still only played 50 games together all season long, right? So it's gonna be some growing pains. We experienced growing pains last game, but tonight, the growing pains was really more so about just execution at times. But I can live with that because if you're not giving up anything easy and you're making the Bulls uncomfortable, the Bulls were uncomfortable all night. A lot of shots you've seen the Bulls making against us earlier this season, it wouldn't happen tonight. Vujacic did not get off tonight at all. He was a non-factor in this game from the beginning of the game. We know last few times he played against him, JD was struggling with the perimeter threat. None of that was the case tonight. He had 8 points. He was a negative 33. That is the worst of the starters for the Bulls. 8 points, 4-15 shooting, 0-5 from 3. That's the key, guys. And that's what I mean when I say that the Bulls were uncomfortable. Vujacic early this season has cooked us from 3. That's been one of the biggest problems. That's why so many people got on JD too prematurely, right? Tonight, 0 for 5 because he was uncomfortable. The Pistons made him uncomfortable all night. That's the difference. That was the difference in this game. It was just so nice to see that, man. It was so good to see this team locked in from beginning to end. And guys, the Pistons' identity is restored. And the last few games, you guys have seen me really, really excited, right? This is why. Because I see them slowly, not just as far as how they're what the score is, the scoreboard, or the leads, or it's the approach. This approach, guys, is why I've been excited the past few weeks. I've seen it kind of slowly building. I've seen it with the going to work team. I've seen it with the bad boys team. I know what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Now, to be fair, I didn't expect a 50-point or 40 ball win, but I saw them getting to a point where they believe and they all buy in, and you see it on the floor. I've seen it before, and I see it again. This is why I've been so excited, guys. This is exactly why. Y'all know I'm a Pistons head, man. Piston for life. I've been watching them for a long time, 30 plus years. So when I see it, I can identify it very, very quickly. And shout out to Coach Bickerstaff, man, because he is not letting these guys off the hook at all either. When the Pistons will allow the Bulls to go on a 6-0 run, 8-0 run at best, because the Pistons will get lazy just for a minute, the Pistons will be up 35 points, and he's calling timeout. It don't matter what the scoreboard is. He's like, guys, what's going on? What's up? What's happening? Why are we getting away from what we do? Why are we letting off the gas? He's helping his team build good habits. 48 minutes, all-out effort. Doesn't matter who's in the court. To see him call timeout with that big of a lead told me everything I needed to know. It wasn't about winning or losing the game. It's about playing the right way, in the words of Larry Brown. That is what he's building. He wants his team to play a certain way for as close to 48 minutes, and that's exactly what we have been talking about for weeks. Exactly. Shannon, I just saw your message. Yes. Your comment. Give the coaching staff. Exactly. I just saw that. 100%. 100%. That is what it's about, guys. It's about building good habits. It's about building a culture. It's about playing basketball a certain way. And if they play like this, guys, nobody's going to want to see us in the playoffs. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to want to see this team in the playoffs. Absolutely nobody. And like I said earlier, man, so many times the Bulls would try to call timeout and get back into the game when the game was still somewhat in doubt. It didn't matter. They would try to slow down the Pistons with momentum more than anything. Because I think they could tell this game was not going to be one that was going to be easy for them. So more than anything, I think they were trying to slow our momentum by calling those timeouts. And to the Pistons' credit, they came right back. It's kind of like football. When you have a kicker who's getting ready to kick a field goal at the end of the game, what happens? Timeout. They're trying to freeze him. They're trying to get into his head, right? That's kind of what was happening tonight. They were trying to slow us down. They were trying to mentally take us off of our game, slow us down. Because when you're on the court and you're playing that well, it's contagious. Everybody's on the same page. You want to continue to build that lead. So when you take time out and you go sit down for a second, and you got to stand back up, and it's harder sometimes to get back into that mode. But tonight, to the Pistons' credit, it did not matter. They came right back into the game and got right back to it. Right back to it. Every time. How many back-to-back timeouts did we see? Within 2 minutes of each other, 3 minutes of each other. Timeout, 5 minutes to go. Right? Come back into the game, 3 minutes to go. Another timeout. Even halftime, when you have more time to sit and your legs and can get a little bit cold. The Pistons came out of a cannon, shot out like a cannon to start the second half. 5-0 run to start the second half. Timeout Bulls again. It didn't matter. They were on a mission tonight. They were on a mission, and they were making this felt like a statement game. This very much felt like a statement game to me. And shout out to Cade. I hope people heard him when he said on NBA on TET, if you don't have League Pass, go get it and let us audition for you. I hope people are watching tonight. The Pistons had their biggest lead tonight in 12 years, guys. 12 years. 2013. They scored 23 points in a row in the second quarter. They went on a 29-4 run in the second quarter. The Bulls had 30 points at halftime. Halftime. How many times this season did the Pistons not even hold teams to 29, 30 points at the end of the first quarter? Right? That would be a win most nights. They had 29 points at halftime, guys. I'm telling you, man, this team, guys, and it's happening so much quicker than anybody thought. I had the Pistons winning 35 games. King had them at 40. They may surpass both of those. They're on pace now for 43, 44 wins at this point in the season. I did not expect this tonight at this level, but I've seen the Pistons play suffocating defense before, guys. I've seen them enjoy playing this type of defense tonight. A lot of guys, they don't like playing defense. A lot of guys like just scoring points because that's what gets you on ESPN. That's what they think gets you the big contracts. That's what they think gets you the accolades. But when you have a team that plays defense like this and enjoys playing defense like this and takes pride in playing defense like this and play for each other and only care about winning, don't care about the stat sheet, just care about winning basketball games and winning championships and winning playoff series and all those things. When you have a team that has that mindset, you become very, very dangerous because you become one of the few teams in the league that have that mindset. At one point in the game, the Pistons were up 49 points, guys. They were up 49 points in the third quarter. I almost felt embarrassed for the Bulls in that third quarter. I almost felt embarrassed. It was cringe. The Pistons just were not stopping. They just kept going. They just kept piling on and on. I almost felt bad for them. And then that passed, and I got right back to being happy again for my team. Because we deserve this, guys. We deserve this. After what we have been through for the past decade plus, especially last year, after what we went through last year, guys, we deserve this. We absolutely deserve this. We deserve to be a winning franchise. We deserve to be able to take pride in our team. We deserve to look forward to watching games. We deserve to be able to being able to go crazy at LCA. Shout out to Ashton. He says 6 seed. They're going to surpass that. The Pistons can legit get to the 5 or 4 seed this season. And the way they're playing, like I said, nobody's going to play in the playoffs. Nobody is going to want to play this team in the playoffs, man. It could be an upset coming. It could be an upset coming, guys. I'm saying it now. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's very possible. If they play like this, come playoff time, if we can somehow get Jaden Ivey back and in rhythm, come playoff time, and when we have more depth, watch out, guys. I said, how many times last stream did I say watch out? Watch out, watch out, watch out. And then this happens. I kind of know what I'm talking about when I come to Pistons basketball, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just saying. I know what I'm looking at. And Kenyatta, yes, 14 wins. To go from 14 wins to this, Vegas odds had us winning 25 games. Many fans had us winning 25 games. I said, nuh-uh. Not what the changes made to this team. Not with the changes. It just had a different feel. Last year didn't happen. In my mind, last year didn't happen. So many changes took place. It didn't even happen. It's over and done with. This is a new era. This is Pistons basketball, guys. This is Pistons basketball. This is it. Yes, we are going to be a playoff nightmare. We're going to be a playoff nightmare because we're going to go hard. The way we played like the Pistons played like their life was on the line tonight. They played like their life was on the line tonight. It was beautiful to see. It was so beautiful to see, man. So one more thing before I get into these box scores. I talked about previous teams. This team, guys, reminds me of and Carl said it already, the 2002, 2003 team, 2003, 2014, right? The team in 2002 when that was kind of how I felt now with this team, was watching that team. But in 2004, in 2003, they weren't quite ready yet, right? They were on the cusp. They got to the conference finals, right? But they just didn't have enough to get over the hump yet. They didn't have the guy to put them over the top yet. A lot of you guys are trying to get the guy now, and it's not time for that yet. A lot of you guys are trying to trade players, and let's go get Brandon Ingram. You think if we had Brandon Ingram on his team, we'd be playing defense like this? No. You think we had Zion Williamson? No. It's all about having the right guys. It's not about just having guys on paper who can score 20 plus points, guys. It has to fit. It has to make sense. You have to have guys who up here are on the same wavelength as the rest of these guys. You got to have locker room guys who are going to make sure you guys stay motivated, not just buckets, not just buckets. That's why I would always say, I don't want this guy. I don't want that guy. He doesn't fit. You got to find the right fit. We have not found our Rasheed Wallace yet. It's not time for us to even look for our Rasheed Wallace yet. It's not time yet, right? We still don't know what we have with the guys we have now, which is exactly why Trajan Langdon did not make any trades, make any major moves. This is still an evaluation season. This is just bonus, guys. What we're seeing right now is just bonus. This is supposed to be a year where we get some respectability around the league, turn around from last season, right? Build, get Cade a good team around him, right? With some spacing and defense and things like that. That would have been a win if we had as many wins right now to end the season, right? Say the season ended today, 28 wins. That would be a win if we were at game 82. That would be a win, right? If we were 28 and 34? Was something like that? I can't remember. 44? Something like that. 54, 64, 34, something like that. Yeah. If we had 28 wins on the season, that would be a win. I'm sorry, 28 and 54. Just did the math in my head. That would be a win because of where we came from last year. We have already doubled our total of wins from last year. We've already doubled it. If I told you that at the beginning of the season we would double our win total, you wouldn't be ecstatic, but you'd be okay. At least we were out of the teens, right? We got 28 games left. We got 28 wins with 28 games remaining, guys. Nobody saw this coming. That's why I'm so excited about this team. Because like my guy King and always say, things can turn around quickly when you have the right pieces in place. When you have the right culture. Last year we had no culture. What was our culture last year? What was our mantra? There was no dog pound mentality last year. There was no defense first mentality. There was no Beasley shit. Like, we didn't have any culture last year. It was nothing. It was literally nothing last year. We were just rolling teams out there. 30 different lineups the last season. No consistency whatsoever. No continuity. No chemistry. No nothing. No nothing. This just shows how quickly things can change when you have the right culture in place. Look at the Lions. Look how quickly they turned around from 3-13 to 9-8 to 12-5 to 15-2. Culture. Having the right culture. That's what it's all about. Sometimes that's even more so important than the players. Because look, we're not a finished product yet. We're not a finished by any means are we a finished product as far as this roster. But just because of the culture and the way we play basketball, the way these guys are playing for each other, the culture, I keep saying it, but that's what it's about. With this roster, a solid roster, look what we're doing. Setting records. The Pistons had the biggest lead at halftime in their franchise's history. In their first season with a new coach. In their first season with the new GM. What more do I have to say? Imagine us 2 years from now if we keep this infrastructure in place where we can be. That's all I'm saying, guys. It's up. Yes, Nikki, it's up. It's up. It's up, man. It is 100% up. And I hope you guys are really understanding what we're looking at. Because this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So getting back to 2004 really quick. This reminds me of the 2004. Guys, who remembers in 2004 when the Pistons held teams to under 70 points 11 times in a row? Does anybody in the chat remember that? I know I'm dating myself. Does anybody remember in 2004 The year we won the championship, I watched every single one of those games like I do this season. Like I have all the years in between. Remember that? 11 games in a row holding teams under 70 points. This team has that look. This team is playing exactly how that team played. I'm telling you, this team is playing exactly how that team played. Ask the people who are beat writers or who are doing podcasts who cover the Pistons, those who remember. Ask King, right? Ask Detroit Kool-Aid. Ask the guys who were there, who remembered what it looked like. And they will tell you it looked like how it looked tonight. That's exactly what they will tell you. That's why I'm so excited. The game when the streak was broken against the New Jersey Nets, they scored 70 points, 70 or 71 points. They didn't even easily surpass that 70-point mark. They barely got there, and they got it on the last shot. Right? Aaron Williams, big man for the Nets, got a tip in. Like the Nets were trying to break it. The Nets were actively trying to break our streak. It was a blowout. Like tonight, the game when they got snapped, that game was a blowout. The Pistons blew them out. And the Nets were being petty. They just wanted to break our streak. So you had Kerry Kittles coming in, curling off a screen, trying to hit a shot, doink, right? And the only reason they broke that record, guys, God bless his heart, Darko Milicic did not box out properly, and he jumped too early on the offensive rebound, and Aaron Gordon got the tip in, and he went like this, and he was excited. They were celebrating like they won a championship, guys, and all they had done was scored 70 points in a blowout loss. That is what we're witnessing. That's why I'm so excited. I'm seeing the same things happen over and over again, guys. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. Yeah. Ryan P says, I brag about that to my non-Pistons friends all the time. Exactly. Okay, so you remember Ryan? Yeah, you remember. Kenyatta says, ask the fans. 04 team, lock teams up 100%. We locked them up. Like how we did tonight. We locked them up. And I love how this team is building a culture, guys. We had the Bad Boys Pistons. We had the Going to Work Pistons. And now we have the Dog Pound Pistons. The culture is restored. It is 100% restored. Pit Bulls were fun. Mike James could catch fire like crazy too. Similar to Malik Beasley. Yes, 100%. Mike James was very, very good for this team on both sides of the ball. Very, very good player. Him and Lindsey Hunter were the Pit Bulls, right? The Pit Bulls. I can see Asar and Ron Holland being something like that as far as defensive. And we're gonna get to these guys individually in a second here, because it's so much. I didn't want to get too much in the box score tonight because this game was about more than box score. It wasn't really about who did what as far as scoring points. It was about the defensive side of the ball, guys. So we're going to go through a few guys, but we're not going to take too much time on the box score tonight. I want to make sure that the focus is on the defensive side of the ball and culture, okay? All right. So let's get to the box. And let's start with our guy, Cade, our all-star. Cade had 20 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 block, 0 turnovers on 9 for 14 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, 1 for 1 from the free throw line in 27 minutes. I love everything about this stat line for Cade. Plus 34, by the way, plus minus. But I love everything about this stat line for Cade. The Pistons won this game by 40 points, and Cade had 20 of them. I absolutely love that. You know what that means? Team win. Everybody is chipping in. Everybody is getting involved. On the defense for the other team, anybody can get it. Anybody can get this work. Anybody can get this work. The Pistons of old always had depth. They always had deep teams. Whether it was John Sally and Dennis Rodman and the microwave, Vinnie Johnson off the bench back in the day for the Bad Boys, right? Or whether it was Mike James, Lindsey Hunter, Corliss Williamson, Mehmet Okur, Cliff Robinson, John Barry for the Going to Work team. Now it's Ron Holland, Marcus Sasser, Malik Beasley, Fontecchio, Paul Reed, Isaiah Stewart, Dennis Schroeder. Pistons teams at their best have always been defensive first, share the basketball, in depth. Every time. Every time. Eldon Campbell as well, Case Crack. My bad. Thank you. Eldon Campbell as well. Big piece to that 04 championship as far as guarding Shaq, too. Wasn't just Ben. Eldon Campbell as well. So, yeah, guys, the formula is being built. Whoever, you can tell Trajan Langdon has done his homework on this franchise's history. He has done his homework on this franchise's history because they're playing the same way. He's building his team the same way. Coach Bickerstaff is coaching his team the same way. The players are playing the same way. They understand in order to get to where you get to, you got to understand where you've been. They understand that. That's why it's so very, very refreshing. Phantom of Darkness said Derek Coleman. He played a little bit. I actually met Derek Coleman. He's a good guy. Derek Coleman, Jellicoe Brasha, early days, right? Not for the run, but yeah. We have layers. Guys. We have layers. And MB, well, I'm going to get to this because tomorrow is very, very important. It's very, very important. I'm going to explain why. Last comment for now. I know Dumars is probably proud of this team. 100% make a hustler. And guys, I know Joe Dumars didn't always make the greatest decisions post-championship, right? He made great decisions as far as putting his team together, right? Bringing in a bunch of cast-offs to this roster. Chauncey Billups, who was never known to be a pure point guard, brought him over. Rip Hamilton got him, and Rip Hamilton was criticized when he got here because we traded Jerry Stackhouse, who led the league in scoring that year, for Rip Hamilton. And Hamilton came here on the wrong foot with a lot of fans because they didn't understand how good he could fit for his team. Tayshaun Prince went late in the first round, right? 22 teams picked before him. 22 guys picked before him. Nobody knew who Tayshaun Prince was, right? Rasheed Wallace, when we got him, brought him over. We know the story with him with Portland, right? All the technical fouls, setting records for a season in technical fouls. Ben Wallace, Virginia Union. Nobody knew who Ben Wallace was. All they knew about Ben Wallace was that he was the guy we brought over for Grant Hill to go with Chucky Atkins. That's it. Nobody knew who Ben Wallace was. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. One of the best defenders, not big man defenders, best defenders ever. So shout out to Joe Dumars for what he did to build that championship, and shout out to Trajan Langdon for what he's doing now to repeat history. He is trying to do the same thing, guys, and he has the right guys here to do so. 100%. All right. So K played solid. So back to his stat line. K was solid, man. He played not even solid. He played a very, very efficient basketball game. He didn't have to do much because this was a team win. K got his teammates involved early and often. And by the way, before I go any further, shout out to K, because tonight K became the third fastest player in NBA history. I'm going to say it again. Tonight, K became the third fastest player in NBA history, guys, to reach 4,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 1,300 assists, trailing only Oscar Robertson and Luka Doncic. Insane. You know what? That's crazy. Because in year 2, he broke his tibia and missed most of the season. This guy is going to be scary good. Cade Cunningham is a complete basketball player, and he plays both ends of the court. Luka Doncic, I love him. He does not play defense nearly as well as Cade Cunningham does. He doesn't play defense really at all. He may now because he's playing with the Lakers and LeBron's going to demand it. But Cade, I'm telling you guys, Cade has a chance to be very, very, very special. Very special in this league. The things that he's doing. The game looks so easy to him now, guys. You see it? You see how easy the game looks to him now? He was having fun tonight, guys. He was just out there just playing. He looked like he knew what the defense was going to do every single time they gave him a look. Every single time. He had 5 assists in the first 2 or 3 minutes of this game. He was a complete floor general. Whenever you see Cade doing look away passes, he had a look away pass to steal in the first quarter. When you see that, you know it's going to be a long night for the defense. You know it's going to be a long night. And for him, he got his guys involved early. And when it was there, he took advantage of his own offense against smaller guys like Ayu Dosunmu, right? He didn't try to do too much. He just took what the defense was giving him, got others involved, and picked his spots when they were there. That was Cade tonight. And he played 27 minutes. When was the last time Cade played 27 minutes, guys? When was the last time Cade played 27 minutes? I don't remember. I've said the last 4 or 5 games, he's had to play 38 minutes. 38. And we saw by the fourth quarters, he was gassed. It is a thing of beauty to see your stars on the bench in the fourth quarter laughing. It's a thing of beauty to see that because, first of all, they're happy because they're probably winning, right? It's probably a blowout. But second of all, you get to rest them, right? For the stretch run that we're trying to go on, you need your guys to be fresh, not just in individual games, not just fourth quarters of games, but you need guys to be rested for the stretch run of the playoffs. That's why that's so important. So to see Cade play 27 minutes in a blowout win is beautiful. And I'm telling you, he is very, very appreciative and very, very happy that he didn't have to score 35 points, 15 assists, 15 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. Because in those kind of games, that's when he has the higher turnover ratio or the lower turnover ratio. That's when he has higher turnovers because he's tired. There's a reason he played 27 minutes tonight and had 0 assists. He's not tired. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. That's why it's so important. The more fresh Cade is, the more efficient he's going to be. And he's been taking care of the basketball tremendously lately. I'm talking 15 assists, 3 turnovers, 14 assists, 3 turnovers, 9 assists, 1 turnover. Tonight, 7 assists, 0. I feel like a broken record. But Cade is just hooping, guys. He is a superstar. He is a superstar. The league doesn't know it yet. They know he's an all-star. They're behind. There's always a delay because they don't watch games the way we do, right? But we all see it. Cade is a superstar. 100%. Kenyatta said, can you pull up the next 10 games? Okay, once we get to the box score, Kenyatta, I'll pull up the next 10 games and we'll go through that stretch, okay? If I forget, remind me. I don't want to make sure I forget. All right. So that's Cade. He did his thing. Played great. Played great. Okay, so the next 2 guys I'm going to talk about did not have great stat lines, but they also contributed to the game. Jalen Duren had 4 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, no turnovers, and no fouls on 2 of 5 shooting in 23 minutes. Tim Hardaway Jr., 3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 for 6 shooting in 18 minutes. If I told you that 2 of our starters had a combined 7 points and we won by 40, first of all, would you even believe that we won by 40? You probably think we lost by 40 if 2 of our starters had a combined 7 points, right? If I told you that we won by 40, after you told me to stop capping, and I told you I wasn't, what would be the reason? Right? You probably think Cade dropped 50. No. The bench, guys. Tim Hardaway Jr., 18 minutes. JD, 23 minutes. Asar, 22 minutes. Like, guys didn't have to play much as starters because we got Beasley, Schroeder, Sasser, even Fontecchio, Paul Reed, Holland. All these guys contributed. That's why this game was over at halftime. Defense, depth. That's literally it. And sharing the ball on offense. Beautiful stuff. This is beautiful. This is so important to have guys being able to rest like this. I'm telling you, it's so important because tomorrow's a back-to-back, guys. Tomorrow is a back-to-back against the same team on the same court. But guess what? It's not your usual back-to-back because these guys are starters rested tonight. None of our starters played 30-plus minutes. The most minutes logged was Cade at 27. So a back-to-back is a little bit easier now because even though you do play tomorrow night, you didn't play a ton of minutes tonight. So you see how important having a deep team is. That's why it's so important. So let's keep going. So Tim Hardaway Jr. and Jalen Duren both play solid. Jalen Duren held Vucevic in check. He really kept him in check tonight. He was blocking shots, knocking shots off the glass, running down the floor, getting easy dunks. Like he played very solid tonight. He didn't play a lot, but he played solid. And Tim Hardaway Jr., same thing. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 3 points, and he was still looking to pass the ball. He had shots he could have taken. He didn't shoot well tonight, but on the break, he wasn't looking for a shot. He was looking for a star in his rearview mirror for alley-oop. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a team player, man. Team player, team guy. Perfect for this culture. Defense first. Go all on defense. Get out in transition. Knock down shots when they're there. And get shots for others. Share the basketball. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a perfect piece for this team. That's why I didn't want him going to the bench for a guy like Schroeder. Because Schroeder is your only backup point guard. And Tim Hardaway Jr. is a natural shooting guard who plays solid defense and can spread the floor. All right. Let's keep going. Ausar Thompson. Guys, Ausar freaking Thompson, man. Oh, my God. This guy is making up for lost time. We know he was out for 8 months. He is quickly shaking that rust off. Quickly. 16 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Stuffing the stat sheet. 2 turnovers on 7 for 8 shooting. 2 of 2 from the free throw line in 22 minutes. He did all that in 22 minutes, guys. He did all of that in 22 minutes. Insane. Ausar, man. Okay, so let's start with this. Who saw that bully ball play on Matas Buzelis? Where he just went straight to the basket and just put him in the weight room and dunked all over him. That was nice to see. But even more than that for him, I know he shot 7 for 8. He was moving very, very well without the basketball. He is a great cutter, right? Offensively, he's a great cutter. He's great on the offensive glass. He's really good out of the pick and roll. Out of the pick and roll with Cade and JD. And when the ball gets to JD in the paint, Ausar, whether it's Ausar or Ron Holland, they're all cutting. They're all cutting back door, getting behind the defense, back door cuts. That was happening all night long. But aside from the offense, his individual defense, man, his individual defense has been insane. And Ausar, guys, he's turning into a bully defensively. He is turning into a defensive bully. And what I mean by that is he's not just playing defense with his feet, trying to stay in front of the guys, contest, can't stop him, just try to make it hard for him. No, he's like, forget that. He's going after guys. He's playing defense as if he knows the offensive player can't get by him. He's getting greedy with possessions. He's looking to take the ball away. He's not just trying to stay in front. He's trying to take the ball away from you. He's trying to bully you. Certain guys, certain defenders, they just try to stay in front, move their feet, don't foul, contest on the shot, make it hard for him. If it goes in, oh well. No, Ausar is like, nah, bro. Not only are you not going to score, I'm going to take the ball from you. I'm going to make you uncomfortable all night. I'm going to make you think twice about bringing the ball up court. If I turn you over, you're inbounding the ball next time because you don't want it back. That's how Ausar is playing defense right now. He is setting that tone, man. He is setting that tone. It's so good to see that from him. He is a defensive lock. Defensive lock, man. Yes, Kenyatta, they were scared. They looked scared straight tonight. I saw a few times Kobe White was literally getting turned over by Ausar, dunk. And Kobe White is inbounding the ball. He don't want it. Because guess what? He knows Ausar's coming again. He's not trying to be on shots in the fool. Like, I'm telling you, this team is built for success. This team is built for success, man. And Ausar Thompson is I've always said this. Ausar is the backbone in that starting unit. He is the backbone defensively of that starting unit. He can do so many things, and he can cover up so many mistakes. The Pistons didn't make many mistakes tonight defensively. But when they do, he's a great help side defender. He's so good, man. He is so good of a basketball player already. I know he's raw, but he's just different. He's just different, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing his growth. But he played absolutely amazing tonight. He played amazing, man. And he's knocking down his free throws now, 2 of 2 from the line. No plays drawn up for him. Getting 16 points in 22 minutes. 4 steals and 2 blocks in 22. Like, man, oh man. This guy. And that's not even talking about his ability to grab the rebound and push. Like we always talk about. Not allowing defense to set up. Because he's so fast getting down the court and not looking for an outlet. He's just going. He's so good. He is so good for this team. All right. Tobias Harris. Last starter. 18 points, 3 boards, 3 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, 8 for 13 from the field, 2 assists from 3, 25 minutes. Tobias got out to a great start, guys, to start this game. This is like the 5th or 6th game now. We've said Tobias has played well. Probably more than that. The last almost now month now. Tobias has been playing very good basketball. He deserves a lot of credit, guys. Tobias Harris, I know we got on him early this season. I did too. Right? I was saying, he's getting on the boards. That's great. But where's the offense? We brought you here for the scoring. He's giving it to us. He's giving it to us. In that mid post, he's money. JB has found out where to put him position-wise to be successful. He understands now how to use Tobias Harris. And Tobias Harris looks very, very comfortable now on the basketball court offensively. He's even knocking down more shots. These guys are understanding their roles. These guys are all becoming stars in their roles. You see it. Everybody's playing to their strengths. Nobody, for the most part, is playing outside of their scope. Guys are saying, this is my piece. This is your piece. This is your piece. This is your piece. And together, we are the Transformers. Right? That's what they're doing. That's what is happening right now. And when you ball those 5 fingers up into a fist, you can strike a mighty blow in the words of the movie Soul Food. Individually, you can't do as much. But when you're this, as a starting unit, you can do some damage. And they are doing damage. They're doing damage. Tobias, great game again. He's continuing to play very, very well. Very, very well. I had to shout him out every time because I got on him every time when he was not playing well. And now we're seeing him play great basketball. That $26 million contract don't look so bad now, does it? Right? It don't look bad now. It looks really good now. The way he's playing, it looks really good. So shout out to Tobias Harris, man. Great game. All right. Let's get to the bench, and then we'll get to the next 10 games, and then we'll call it a night. All right? All right. So we're not going to go through everybody because, like I said, this is a great team win. A lot of guys contributed. Fontecchio was solid, 8 points. He had 10 boards tonight, guys. 10 boards for Fontecchio. So he was on the glass for sure, doing work. 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. He did a lot tonight. 2 turnovers, 2 for 8 from 3, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, 3 for 3 from the line in 26 minutes. So, guys, tonight was the first time I saw Fontecchio be effective when his shot was not falling. He didn't shoot well tonight. 2 for 8 from the field. 1 for 3 from the free throw line, or from 3. But he had 10 boards. This is the most impactful I've seen him when he's not knocking down shots. And that is very encouraging. Very encouraging to see Fontecchio. Because I've always said, if he's not knocking down shots, he hasn't really been impactful. It wasn't the case tonight. He was on the boards, doing the dirty work. Doing the dirty work, man. So I'm not concerned about him when the shot's not falling if he's doing this. If he can find other ways to be impactful on the basketball court, I'm with it. I'm with it. That was very encouraging tonight. Very encouraging. Okay. Let's move on. Let's get to Marcus Sasser. Now, I know you guys are going to say it was garbage time. I get it. But Sasser played well. He came in and did what he's supposed to do. And that is be a bucket, right? It's not to come in and try to be a point guard. We talked about that. He's not a point guard. And it was unfair to him to be put in a situation to try to be something that he's not. Which is why a guy like Dennis Schroeder was so important. Because now you can put him back into his regular spot. He can play his role and do what he's best at, which is get buckets. And tonight he got buckets. 14 points, 5 for 5 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3. He did not miss a shot tonight. That's Marcus Sasser. Guy come in, get buckets, score in bunches. Can't be stopped. Only 6'1", don't matter. Boy's a bucket. So good game from Sasser, man. All right. We're going to go 2 more guys and then we're out of here. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart, man. Isaiah Stewart, guys, he has moved into my top 3 players on this team. He's one of my top 3 favorite players on this team. Not the most skilled, right? But he's become one of my favorites. He's a fan favorite for me. Isn't it crazy when people were saying to trade him early in the season? Let's trade Stu. He's not any good. He's just out there. He fouls too much. He gets too many technical fouls. All these things. And remember what I was telling you guys? He is a tone setter. He is a tone setter. And honestly, he's gotten better and better and better throughout the course of the season. Tonight he had 14 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, 3 turnovers on 6 for 8 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3 in 15 minutes. 14 points and 6 boards in 15 minutes. Man, oh man, oh man, Stu. Boy, oh boy. So, guys, don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not saying this is a complete mirror comparison. Isaiah Stewart is becoming this team's version of Ben Wallace. Tone setter defensively, making people think twice before they come on that paint. The heart and soul of this team is Isaiah Stewart. Not the most skilled player, not the most athletic player, not the best measurables, don't matter. Culture setter. Isaiah Stewart is the heart and soul of this basketball team. He leads by example. He takes no plays off, and he takes pride in playing defense, guys. He has extremely high standards for himself. If you watch him play, he has extremely high standards for himself, to the point where, guys, I was watching him tonight. He gets very, very irritated whenever a foul gets called on him or whenever somebody scores on him. Just one bucket, he gets irritated. He played great defense on Patrick Williams one time, had him shooting a tough fadeaway jumper. It went in. Good shot. Stu was like he was mad. He was irritated. He was annoyed that he made one shot. Like, he literally takes it personal whenever a foul is called on him or whenever somebody scores on him. He takes it personal. I say all the time, that painted area to him is like home. And when you try to break into his home, you're going to hear about it. He's going to make you regret it. He feels offended if you try to get into his home. That's his area. That's his space. That's home. The way he takes pride in playing defense, man. And you can see he really just wants to become a lock defensively. He wants to become a lockdown defender. And he's becoming that. He is becoming a lockdown defender. Not just in the paint. The way he was guarding guards, chasing guards around, chasing Ayo Dosunmu down for chase down blocks out in the perimeter, moving his feet, man. Doing it all. Doing it all. Doing everything. And if he keeps working, guys, he is going to be a multi-time defensive All-NBA player. All-NBA defense player. Multiple times. It's coming. It's coming. That's going to be his role. And that's going to be what he gets to. And slowly but surely, you're going to see his offense catching up. He may never be an all-star. Probably not. It's okay. But he's going to be an Al Horford type player. He can stretch the floor. He can move his feet on perimeter. He sets the tone defensively. And he's a lock and a leader in the heart and soul of this team. That is the kind of guy I see Isaiah Stewart. Not Al Horford now, Boston. I'm talking about Atlanta Al Horford, the all-star. That guy. That's what I see Isaiah Stewart at a ceiling. And at halftime, he just kept talking about how, I think, who was it? Johnny Kane asked him at the break before he went in the locker room. He said, "You guys are up big. Can you keep it up?" And Johnny said that because Johnny knew last game the Pistons let the Hornets come back. He knew the game before that the Sixers came back. So he asked him, "You guys want to keep it up?" And Stu said, "Yeah, we are going to hold each other accountable because Coach does." And he said, when we go in here, we're going to talk about just that, to keep the pedal to the metal and to make sure we don't let up. And they came out and did it. Like I said, 5 straight points in about a minute time out of halftime. Timeout Bulls. I said this team, they are locked in. They are locked in. I loved it. And Isaiah Stewart is at the core of that. He sets the tone, and people follow his teammates follow his example based on how he plays. He is invaluable. That is why I said, do not trade Isaiah Stewart. No, That's like giving your heart away. You're literally just giving your identity away. He is invaluable. He is so important to what we embody. He's more important here than anywhere else. He is more important to this team than anywhere else. Because nobody really embodies defense and grit the way Detroit does. That's who we are. That's who he is. If he goes to an offensive team, he's not going to be featured. He's not an offensive guy. He doesn't have a bag. He doesn't need to. He fits this culture better than anywhere else. That is why you do not trade a guy like Isaiah Stewart. Ever. Ever. I hope he's a Piston for life. For that very reason. For that very reason. Man, oh man, Isaiah Stewart, shout out to you, bro. Man, I'm telling you, man, for me, guys, it's like it's Cade, it's Jaden, it's Cade, and then it's Stu. For me. And then it's Asar, and then it's Ryan, and all the other guys. But for me, it's those three. And then JD, of course, too. I love JD. But for me, it's Stu, Jaden, and Cade. Those are my three favorite Pistons. When you account skill and will, those are my guys. I love those guys. I love how they play. So anyway, Isaiah Stewart, excellent. Excellent. Okay. Now let's talk about Malik Beasley, guys. Shout out to Malik Beasley. First of all, Malik Beasley, man, he's always giving stuff away. He's always giving. He's always giving something. In the city, he's putting shoes that he has in areas downtown and taking pictures and say, hey, guys, I got some shoes downtown. Go get them. First person to go get them, they're yours. Right? Just his vibes, man. Just what he brings to the city, bro. I love Malik Beasley, bro. I love that dude. Like, not even as a basketball player, as a person. I love who he is. He is a very generous human, you know? And part of that probably is because he was raised here. But I'm sure he was doing the same thing elsewhere. I'm sure he was doing the same thing in other cities when he played. But something about him being here, bro, is just different. Part of it's because his mom was raised here. He has roots here. He wants to be here. He went and told the GM, Trace Langdon, don't trade me, please. Right? That's just all off the court stuff. But I just love what he brings. The camaraderie he brings to this team, the confidence he gives his team, the confidence he gives our stars, the way he plays with the vets. I just love him. You can't not like him. The culture that he's bringing here, right? With the shimmy, like everything, bro. I just love what he embodies. And I said it before. And you guys asked me last time. You guys said every stream, let's get this initiative going. So I'm gonna say it again. Every time Malik Beasley hits the three, guys, we need to do more than just cheer. We need to stand up and hit the shimmy every time. Imagine how much fun that would be at LCA if that was a thing, especially with the amount of threes that he hits. You could be involved in the game all game long because he's hitting threes and we're getting involved, right? Let's get that going, guys. Let's get it going. I heard Greg Kelser talked about it last game. I mentioned it last game. Let's make it a thing. Let's make it a thing. The way Ben Wallace had the gong, let's make the threes be a thing. Let's make it a thing. Let's get into the culture. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Deuce said basically giving Stu away is like a Kano from yeah, bro. Like you don't want to. Why would you do that? Why? It don't make sense. So anyway, back to Bees. Yeah, man, that's off the court. As far as on the court, let's start with this. Malik Beasley, guys, tonight, for those who are watching, you already know, he broke the Pistons' all-time record for most three-pointers made in a season. I'm going to say it again. He broke the Pistons' all-time record for most three-pointers made in a season. And there's 28 games left. 28 games remaining. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. And he already broke the record for most three-pointers made in the season, guys. How in the world is this guy not in the three-point contest? Somebody please explain. Somebody please explain. How is he not in the three-point contest? And D, you always say this, and I always got to shout you out for this. He's doing this off the bench. Before him, the record was held by Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey, a good shooter. He had the record. He broke Allen Houston's record, who held it before him. Both of those guys were starters playing heavy minutes. Malik Beasley's doing this off the bench with 28 games remaining. You know what that means? He's not just taking a bunch of threes. He's making a bunch of them. Malik Beasley is one of the best shooters in the world, guys. Easily the biggest offseason signing in the NBA. Not just Pistons, in the league. Shout out to Chase Langdon again. If, you know what, the fact that he didn't make the three-point contest, they got to give him Sixth Man of the Year. They got to give him that now. They have to. They already snubbed him on that. They got to give it to him now. Especially if we have a great stretch run to end the season. If we go on the tear to end the season, you got to give it to him. You have to absolutely give it to him, man. And the fact that he doesn't want to be traded tells me that he's going to be here for a few years. He's not going anywhere, guys. He's not going anywhere. You don't tell your GM, don't trade me, and then go try to ask for a bunch of money in the offseason. You don't do that. You don't do that. Especially when you have roots here. He knows the fans love him. He knows we all love him. He knows this is a good place for him. He knows this team is on the rise. He saw what happened tonight. He was a part of it. He sees what's going on. The same way people say with the Lions, guys are going to want to come here to play. Why? Because of the culture. Beasley understands what's happening here. He's going to want to stay here. And the Pistons want him here. And it's going to be fun. So shout out to Beasley, man, for breaking that record with 28 games left. How many is he going to end up with? I think he's at 212 right now. Is he going to get to 300? He very well could. 28 games? That's what, like 3 or 4 games? Easy. Easy. He's going to shatter this record. And yes, Kenyatta, a lot of Sadiq's threes were forced. They were not within the flow of the offense. They were not comfortable threes. That's why he didn't shoot 40% the way Beasley's shooting. Right? Malik Beasley is an absolute clip, guys. Absolute clip. Yes, Chris. I was shouting you out, bro. He's got to be Sixth Man of the Year. Beasley. I saw you. I was coming. Hey, I was coming to you, bro. I was coming. You got to give me a little time because the comments coming through quick. I'm trying to get a moderator. Got to give me a little time. I was coming back to you. But yes, you said that. Shout out to you. You said you've been saying that for a while now. A while. So shout out to you. But yes, about another 60 for Bees. Man, I'm so excited for him. So happy for him. He deserves this. We deserve this. And I'm looking forward to you. Whoever saw this on my Instagram, go follow me on Instagram, Downtown Deuce. Whoever saw this on Instagram, Bees and Schroeder played together. They go back to high school, 15, 16 years old. But they played together in LA. Shout out to Davon, my guy, Davon. Said your name right this time. Davon. He let me know that on a couple streams back. He said that they played together. And you see them in the clip that I posted on Instagram. Bees hits a three. And Schroeder turns to him, and they both go like this, right? So look forward to seeing that throughout the rest of the season. As they get comfortable, you're going to see Schroeder shedding up Bees for more threes, and you're going to see Threesley and Schroeder going like this for the rest of the season. Watch for it. It's coming. It's coming. Watch for it. So let's get that going. Let's get the initiative going, guys. When you're LCA, let's do that. Let's make that the wave. Let's make that our wave. Instead of the wave, let's hit the Bees. Let's hit the shimmy, the threes and shimmy. All right, let's get it going. I'm gonna keep talking about it every stream until it picks up, and we're gonna get it going. All right, we're gonna end it there, guys. Before we do though, I want to pull up the Pistons schedule. I think Kenyatta requested that I pull up the Pistons schedule and look at the next 10 games. So we are going to do that. So give me a second here. Let me find the schedule and see what the Pistons schedule is looking like. And because we have a chance here to go on the run, like I said earlier tonight, the Pistons are not going to fall below 500 again for the rest of the year. You can call me on it. You can say whatever. You can screenshot this or video record this, whatever you want. I don't think the Pistons are going to lose enough games to fall below 500 for the rest of the season. All right, so let's look at the schedule. So the Pistons are now on a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Sixers. They beat the Hornets. They beat the Bulls. Next 10 games, we have tomorrow against the Bulls, Spurs 2, Hawks 3, Clippers 4, Celtics 5, Nuggets 6, Nets 7, Jazz 8, Clippers 9, Warriors 10. So the Pistons have a chance here to get at least to five wins in a row. The Spurs are a lottery team. They have Victor, and that's about it. They got guys like Stephon Castle. They got Devin Vassell. They got some nice pieces. But if we can keep Victor in check, that should be a win on the road. The Pistons have been real warriors. The Pistons are only one of 5 teams, by the way, in the Eastern Conference who have a winning road record. So I'm not worried about where they're playing. That doesn't bother me. I'm just looking at how they're playing. If they're playing well enough, they should be able to win. They should be able to win any game, right? So I got them winning this one tomorrow against the Bulls. And by the way, before I go any further, tomorrow's game against the Bulls is so important, guys. Because even though the Pistons set records tonight, had a 50-point lead, 23 straight points, 29-4 run, all that stuff, right? It just counts as one. It still just counts as one. And the same way we're talking about the Pistons blowing the Bulls out, guess what? The Bulls also know what happened tonight. They also know they got blew out. And tomorrow, I can guarantee you, as well as we're playing, we're not going to blow them out by 40 tomorrow. The Bulls are going to come out with a different mentality. They're going to play hard. They are going to try to get their get back. So while I do think the Pistons will win this game, it's not easy to win back-to-back games in the same place, right? That's not easy. I think they're up for it, but it's not easy. So they have to lock in. If they lock in tonight, the way they lock in or tomorrow, the way they did tonight, they should get a win. But it won't be about 40. It will not be about 40. So just keep that in mind. But if they win that game, they'll be at 4 wins, and this will be 5. The Spurs. And then the Hawks, I think we can get to 6. Maybe even 7, because the Clippers, I don't know too much about them. I don't know. But after the Clippers, it gets tough, because then we got the Celtics at home and then the Nuggets. And that's where I think it probably will be tough to keep that streak going. Surprise me. Look, surprise me. If we were to go past that, cool. I love it, right? But these 2 games, the Celtics and the Nuggets, that's going to be a measuring stick. That is going to be a measuring stick as far as to where the Pistons are in their growth. Because, playing the Bulls, playing the Hornets, playing the Sixers, that's different from playing the Celtics and the Nuggets. Those are contenders. Those are 2 teams who could possibly be in the finals again this year. So while the Pistons are doing a good job of getting wins, winning the games you're supposed to win, these are different animals we're playing soon, right? So if we can get to 5-6 wins, get to about 5 or 6 wins over 500, that'll be a great sign. The Pistons are close, actually, to getting to the 5 seed. While we're here, let's just do it. Let's check out the standings. Let's check the standings out. Why not, right? I'm tired, but y'all keeping me up, man. I'm with y'all. We vibing. Let's just keep going. All right. So real quick, the Pistons right now are sitting at the 6th seed. AB, shout out to you. 28-26, right? They have won 3 straight. The 3 teams above them have lost games. Well, I'm sorry. The 2 teams above them have lost games. The Pacers have lost 2 straight. The Bucks have lost 1 straight. We are currently, guys, 1 game out of the 5th seed. We're at 15.5 back in first place. The Bucks are 14.5 of first place. We're only 2 games out of the 4th seed. The Pistons are rolling, guys. So for me, if I'm the Pistons, I'm trying to get to the 4th seed. The 3rd seed is out of question. That's going to be too far. That's too far. That's 7.5 games out. That's fine. If we can get to 4, we can beat anybody who we play at 5. If we can get to 4, I think we can beat anybody who we play at 5. Because the Bucks are not the same Bucks. I gotta call myself out. I thought the Bucks were gonna be better than this. I thought with the rejuvenated Giannis and with a year with Dame, I thought they'd be better than this. But we're seeing they're showing their age. Brook Lopez is getting older. Like those guys, they're getting older now. And this is their last hurrah, in my opinion. And they just traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. They messed up with that. That messed them up for sure. Kuzma is very talented. But for a team who is a veteran team, I want a Chris Middleton, a guy who's not going to hurt my team, who's not going to be on Shaqtin' the Fool every other week. Right? That's what I want. So the Bucks really are not who the Bucks used to be. So the Pistons can get to 4 realistically. They can realistically get to the 4th seed, which is crazy. Crazy. And I just cannot wait, man. I did not think I would be talking about the Pistons being at the 4th seed possibly, or being 2 games back of the 4th seed at the All-Star break. No way. Early this season, we were saying the Pistons might get in the play-in. They might get in the play-in. We were like down at 11 or 12, right? We're above the line now. We're firmly in the playoffs. We're 2.5 games. A game and a half better than the Heat. And the Heat are reeling. They just lost their best player in Jimmy Butler. They just lost 2 straight. See what I mean? So the Pistons are going to the playoffs, not play in. We are not dropping below 6 seed. We're going to stay right here or move up. This is where we're going to be at worst. So I am very, very excited, guys, about what we're seeing from this team. And it's going to be very, very fun to watch. This is why I said the rest of the season is going to be fun. It's going to be very, very fun to watch. So we're going to end it there. The Pistons play tomorrow, the Bulls tomorrow, back-to-back, on the road again. I expect that to be a win, and we'll see what happens. But hopefully I will see you guys back here. I will be here as always, post-game, to talk about it. Hopefully it's a win, and hopefully I'll find you guys here too. So shout out to everybody who was here tonight, man. It's been great talking to you guys per usual. I am so excited about this team. I know you are too. And guess what, guys? This is just the beginning. This team is just getting started. Carl, I'm checking my phone. Carl just said we have an update on something we're working on. So like I said earlier, watch out for that. Watch out for that in the next week or two. We got something that you guys are going to enjoy. So thank you guys for showing up, man. This is another great episode of The Deuce Show. And I will see you guys post-game tomorrow night. And as always, Detroit versus everybody. Peace.